To welcome to the stage a very talented young actress. Please give it up for our favourite companion, the brilliant Pearl Mackie!
Oh, I get the fancy one now. That's nice, isn't it? Hello, how are you? That was medium, wasn't it? Come on, how are you? You all right? That's better. Nice to see you all. It's very dark. I can't see your faces, but I can see lots of excited-looking silhouettes. And that's what I like to see. Hi. Waver over there. Hello. This is fun. I must say, I've never been introduced by anyone off stage before.
No?
It was weird, yeah. It's like I was being beckoned by a force that wasn't even real. It was very surreal.
And unlike Doctor Who, this force will not chase you down a building or anything like that.
Are you
You're
sure?
fine. I'm absolutely sure with that one.
Well, good.
Partly because my partner would kill me. So, how have you been? And what is it like for you here today? Because I've seen several Bill cosplays running around. And
yeah, there's loads. Yeah, there's one. There's two. I guess hi. Yeah, it's great. I think one of the great things about Bill's costume is that it is quite easy to cosplay. Hello.
Oh.
Hiya. Hi. You all right?
Okay.
Come and say hello. It's all right. You can come and say hi if you want. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. How are you? Do you want to shake my hand?
Yeah.
Can you sit down? Do you want to?
Okay.
Say hello to everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Zoya Rose Edwards.
Hello.
I have something to tell you about. I have a series on my Facebook account. It's called Directed by Mocha Bay.
Wow.
Yeah. It's on my Facebook. It goes Zoya Rose Edwards. It's half cartoon, half explosions I'm thinking about. There's so many animation, so many real-life actors, and so many explosions!
Okay. Because what series doesn't need explosions?
And plus, to see the source, you must go to www.facebook.com/ZoyaRoseEdwards.
All right, thank you.
Good.
Thank you!
Thank you. That's okay, don't worry. Thanks, Lola. It was nice to meet you. That was Lola Rose Hepworth, everyone.
And their series is on Facebook.
Strong marketing. Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
Well, that's the first time we've ever been part of a pitch invasion, almost.
I liked him. I mean, I admire that. Go for it,
So we were talking about the cosplays and the...
Yeah.
What is it like for you? And can you remember the first time you saw a Bill cosplay and how did you react to that?
The first Bill cosplay I saw was it was actually about 2 minutes after I was announced.
Wow.
Not 2 minutes is actually, that's an exaggeration. But it was about 2 hours after I was announced.
Wow.
It was a guy. Well, I had some friends around to watch the launch, and then a few more friends joined after seeing the trailer, as was the introduction of Bill, and one of them was sort of looking on Facebook to see what people had said, what people's reactions were, and someone was like, "Oh my God, someone's already dressed up as you," and it was this guy, and he had a massive afro, and he somehow had Bill's jacket already.
Wow.
And I was like, where did you... I mean, I don't even have that. I was like, where did you get that from? That is creepy. Well, no, it was great. I mean, he had the ripped jeans, and he had some, I think he just conveniently had some green trainers, but it was brilliant. It's so... it's really nice that people can do that, and people want to dress up as Bill. I think her clothes are really cool, so, it's really nice to see other people dressing up in them.
And you mentioned there getting all your friends around to watch the announcement of things. How difficult was it to keep that a secret that you were going to be the new companion to Doctor Who?
Oh my God, it was so hard. It's particularly with the getting them around, sort of, to get to watch the announcement, because I mean it was on in the middle of the football.
Yeah.
And I don't watch football. And most of my friends know that. And they were like, why are you inviting us round for like the half time of the football? This is weird. What is going on? I was like, well, just come round and bring Prosecco and don't ask me any questions. I had to keep that to a few people. And obviously I told my mum.
Yeah.
I had to tell my mum. I mean, I don't think... My mum's the kind of person who would sniff out if I was trying to keep a secret from her. She'd be like, what's wrong? What's going on? In the first sort of 2 seconds of seeing me. And I'd be like, just can't. I'm not very good at keeping secrets from her. So I thought best to tell her.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, I thought, well, why not? Yeah, let her know. She was pretty gobsmacked. Not that, she doesn't have faith in me, but I mean, as I was gobsmacked too, it was quite an overwhelming phone call, that one with my mum. There was lots of tears and lots of kind of incoherent, that kind of, from both of us.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, it was so hard to keep it a secret. Lots of my friends were just like, I mean, where have you been? I haven't seen or heard from you for about 6 weeks. Like, what's going on? Are you ill? Like, what is this? And I was like, no. I was doing a play at the time. And I was like, no, I was just working, just doing the same play that I've been doing for 9 months. It suddenly got significantly harder. So I'm having to concentrate much more on it.
And what was it like? Because at one point, I believe Peter Capaldi actually came to see you in that play.
He did, yes.
And of course, he then had the obligatory cast photo backstage, and you had to pretend
not to know him. Yeah, we had to pretend that we didn't know each other, and we'd already filmed the trailer. No, we hadn't filmed the trailer, but we'd met each other in the audition, obviously, in the recall. And I knew I'd got the job, and he knew that I'd got the job. And so, yeah, I'm waiting backstage to go on for Act 2, and someone's like, oh my God, Peter Capaldi's in the audience. And I'm like, I was like, what do I do? I'm on stage with these people who I've shared, nearly 9 months of my life with on a day-to-day basis, and I couldn't tell anyone. And so he came backstage afterwards, and we were all like, oh my God. And I was like, is he going to say something? Is he going to announce it here, or say, is he allowed to say? Is that what he's here for? I just didn't have a clue what I was doing. So I did the second half of the show in a complete daze, just sort of wandering around, looking around, seeing if I could like spot him in the audience. I couldn't, but and then he came backstage, and one of my friends, when I was announced, he was like, oh, I remember you that day that Peter Capaldi came, and he was like, you were really weird. And I was like, I thought I was handling it really well, but he was like, yeah, you just sort of stood at the edge. It was like really rigid, like, hi, Kate, great. We were both like, he came up to me and he was like, congratulations. And I was like, thank you. That was it. And then we were like, okay, just go away, just leave, just run away now. But that was very strange.
You afterwards, when you're filming with him, did you bring that up and say to him, look, what was that?
I know, but he was like, I just tried to come in secret. He was like, I just sort of wanted to see you doing something, because I thought it would be really nice if I'd seen you do something before we started working together. But he was like, but I'd done obviously, he's Doctor Who. So, they go, oh my God, Doctor Who's come to see the show. Can you have a picture of you with the cast? And, for him, he just sort of wanted to slip in, see the show, be like, oh, that's nice, she's really good, fingers crossed, and then go, But then they sort of dragged him backstage, and he's so polite he couldn't say no. But he was like laden with shopping. It was like, I think he was buying his wife a birthday present or something, and he was just like really like awkwardly like trying to maneuver all of his shopping bags out of the way. And he said it was horrible for him as well, because he was like, he didn't know what I told them or if I, or anything like that. So. Yeah, we laughed about that quite a lot.
But for you, it must have been nice as well, though, because here you are, you're walking on to a show like Doctor Who, and the person you'll be performing off of a lot of the time is showing you this incredible level of support.
Yeah.
Was that kind of an immediate bond you formed with him?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, it's such a close relationship, between Bill and the Doctor, but also... as the two leads of the show, we were there the whole time, and he was very welcoming to me and very supportive and, really, really friendly. And I mean, most of the first episode it was just, it's the two of us and Heather, played by Stephanie, who was in for some bits of the episode, but most of it was just us kind of all day, every day. So yeah, we chatted a lot and became quite close quite quickly.
And one of the things that you just mentioned there was Heather. And Were you aware at that time that you would ever get to see her again? Was
No.
she coming back? And when you first found out that was going to be how they were going to potentially change your, write you out of that,
Yeah.
how did you react to that?
That's a good question, actually. Well, I thought it was really nice, that Bill got a sort of happy ending than, remaining sort of inside a Cyberman. I thought, going and traveling the universe with a girl that she'd, had a bit of a soft spot for previously. I thought that was a really nice way of ending it. And it was quite, made the series feel quite cyclical and, I thought it was quite nice.
Because it was nice,
I liked it.
because throughout the series, Bill hadn't had that much luck in the relationship department, and it was nice.
I know, with a Pope coming in when you're in the middle of a date. I mean, that's a nightmare, isn't it? You know
Just to
what I
let you
mean?
know, the Pope is
I know,
there.
I've seen him. I've seen him. I've got my eye on you, mate.
He has promised he won't be running up on the stage and promoting his series. But in terms of the where we go next, because of course Christmas special is coming up.
Yes, it is.
You can't obviously tell us anything about that,
No.
so we're not going to ask you. That's a warning.
I can't tell you anything.
But
There will be snow.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. We're done. See you later.
That's
Have a lovely
all
day.
you're getting.
Did you know at the end of your time on that last episode you filmed in the Heather storyline, did you know that you'd be back at that point, or did that come as a surprise to you?
I didn't know I was going to be back for Christmas, actually. I thought that was sort of the end. And then they were like, oh, actually, do you want to be in the Christmas special? And I was like, well, yeah. Do I want to be on TV on Christmas Day that I can watch with my whole family and then in one of the biggest shows in British television? Yes, please. yeah, I'll do that. And it's a lovely story as well. I think it's a great adventure. I think you guys are really going to like it. I hope you do. Anyway, I do. So, take from that what you will.
And how much would you say then that, just from meeting you here and just seeing you interact with people so far, I can see a lot of Bill as a character in you. So did the writers kind of draw upon what you brought to the character naturally then, do you think?
Yeah, I think they did. Or bits of it anyway. I mean, for me, I thought when I read the script that I had to read for the audition, I didn't feel like there was much that I had to do. I read it and I was kind of like, I think I know this girl. I think I kind of understood her. But then, perhaps that is that we have some similarities and, there's similar energy. We look pretty similar as well. That's a big thing, I think. But yeah, I think there's one line in episode 1 that when I'm looking out the window before. When I'm telling the doctor about not liking my face very much, looking out the window, thinking my face is all like, oh, I've never liked it. It's always doing expressions when I'm trying to be enigmatic. And I'd actually said something very similar to that in the audition.
Wow.
Peter had asked if I wanted to stand up to do one of the scenes. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, most TV auditions, I usually just sit still and try and not move try and keep my face as still as possible. It likes to do its own thing, but, So I'd said that, and then Stephen had obviously, like clocked onto that and put that in the series.
That's fantastic.
Which is quite exciting. He does that quite a lot, actually. There's little snippets of conversation. You're reading a script and you're like, that looks really familiar. I swear I said that sometime. Yeah, but it's great. I think that's testament to him as a writer, though, as well. He's so observant, and he's so he kind of allows the character to be part of you, and allows you to be part of the character, which is great.
And also kind of enables a sense of trust within you as an actor, doesn't it? Because if you know that your writer and your director and your overall showrunner is got that much faith in you to incorporate that, it kind of makes you think, wow, okay, I can really just let go here and just go for it. Yeah,
totally. You kind of feel like, well, I must be doing something right if they're writing stuff that I said in the audition into the actual script of episode 1, then, it's pretty positive.
Fair enough. And one of the clips I recently saw, which made me laugh, was the first time you saw a Dalek.
Oh, yeah.
What was, explain that story to us if you could, and what was it like to meet this iconic British villain?
Oh, it was great. I loved it. I was like, oh, this is exciting, isn't it? And I went up and I was waving, and he waved back. And I was like, okay, all right. I see what's going on here. This is nice. And I was saying, I was saying it to Stephanie, and I was like, oh yeah, look, you can like shake hands and that. And then, he started shaking my hand, and I was like, this is really advanced for like a remote control sort of, situation. And then obviously they take their head off, and there's a guy inside. And I was like, what? I didn't know. I didn't know that. I thought they were operated like remotely, but there was a guy inside operating. I mean, maybe I should have known, but I didn't, and I thought that was hilarious because I thought I was completely au fait with everything, and obviously I wasn't.
And you mentioned being au fait with everything. When you first got the role, what was it? Because the day you've had all your friends around and you were just normal you and normal Pearl. Then the day after you got cast, what was and the world knew? What was your first day after that like for you?
Well, that day itself was pretty mad. I mean, like all my Twitter followers, like. I don't even know. There's something they multiplied in a way that is beyond my maths. But yeah, I mean, I had like 400 or something before, and then after that day, by the end of that day, I had like 16,000.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty big. That was quite strange. Yeah, sort of there, and I'd given my phone to one of my friends just so, because I was getting a bit freaked out by it. I was like, oh, this is too much. And she kept being like, oh my God, someone's blah, people have tweeted this, people have tweeted that, and your followers keep going up to like loads. And then when my phone battery died, I was actually really grateful. I was really like, oh, okay, cool. Well, now we can just, it's just sort of about us, and we can have a little celebration for all of us here, and me and my mum and that kind of thing. So that was nice. But yeah, I mean, I still find it pretty surreal, to be honest. It's still, even having filmed it, I think it's like a dream. I think I've said that a couple of times before, but I feel very much like it's just a really nice dream that I'm probably going to wake up from soon and be like, oh, that was a nice dream. But yeah, I mean, it's wonderful. It's still kind of, it's such a roller coaster. Yeah, I think that one of the joys of sort of filming so intensely in Cardiff is that we kind of just, I just sort of was allowed to like immerse myself in it and just kind of get thrown in and not think too much about all the external pressures and, how many Twitter followers I had or what people were saying about my character or that kind of thing. So yeah, it was just nice to sort of get into that bubble and just film it and then come out and be like, oh wow, yeah, it's all of you guys, hi,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I suppose it's what makes it different from doing things like theatre, because you do your theatre work as well. You get an immediate response from a theatrical audience, whereas from working on a programme like Doctor Who, you're locked into that bubble, as you rightfully said.
Yeah.
For it's like 6 to 8 months of the year, isn't it? 10 months.
Yes. Yeah. It was 10 months filming that series 10. Yeah.
Crikey.
That's a long time.
It is a long time.
It's a long time.
And it's a long time as well, especially if you can't say anything or do anything because you might give something away, and you literally...
I was so worried about that. I was like, well, what if I accidentally say something wrong and then they fire me? I was like, what do I do?
Yeah.
I didn't, and they didn't, thankfully. Still time. But no, I was quite concerned about that. And then they were like, I mean, look, unless there's a few massive secrets that you shouldn't give away, but like we will brief you, when you start doing interviews and stuff like that. So really don't worry about it. But at first I was like, what if I accidentally just say, like in the pub to someone that I've got it, because I just get overexcited, and then they're like, oh, you haven't got it anymore. Bye. They didn't do that though, thanks.
And one big secret, which I know shocked quite a few people, and certainly was one of those moments where you go, what? Was when you became the Mondasian Cyberman.
Yeah.
What was your reaction when you saw that written down? And and was it, do I have to put the suit on?
I really wanted to put the suit on, but they didn't let me.
What?
I was too small. I'm too short for it. It was played by a very nice man called Liam. He was lovely. He's much taller than me, though. He's like 6'3" or something, and they just didn't think it was scary enough if just me sort of, walking around in a Cyberman costume. It's not as intimidating as it's supposed to be. And also they thought that afro and the helmet thing could be thought it would be a nightmare. It would just take too long to film, I think, than getting it on and off the head. But yeah, no, so we went through it, and we did a lot of the stuff. So I choreographed all the things that he would do. I sort of said, this is how I'd do it. I'd sort of pick that up there and then showed him what to do. So it was very much kind of, we did it very much together, which was nice. But yeah, I mean, it's a mad storyline, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked. I didn't know anything about it beforehand, and then I read the script, and I was like, what? No, I mean, I think it's an exciting story, you know, and I'm all for the drama. So it was a nice. I mean, it wasn't nice. There was nothing nice about it, was there? I mean, really, if we're being honest. But yeah, I mean, it was exciting and it was very unexpected, and you know, it was a like really clever way to link back to the genesis of the Cybermen, which is, I thought it was pretty impressive and also utterly heartbreaking. So yeah, after the initial shock, I was pretty excited by it, and I think as a finale, you know, as a finale 2 episodes, I think that this is going to be a really good story.
And for you as well, it made you learn a new skill as an actor, because you're essentially now directing someone to be you, so you had to put a completely different hat on, essentially. Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of true. I mean, Rachel Talalay, who directed the final 2 episodes, you know, we worked with her as well, so, you know, she was still directing. I didn't have to take too much of that on myself, thankfully. But yeah, I guess it did, actually, yeah.
And it made you also think about how you would move in that situation, because normally if you're acting, you're just acting,
you're just doing it. Yeah.
But now you have to think about how you would do that.
Yeah, it was interesting, actually. It was sort of, it made me think a lot more objectively about it. But yeah, it was nice. I enjoyed it.
So now we've mentioned the audience. Now we're going to open the questions out to them.
Hello.
And oh, surprise, surprise, the Pope sticks his hand up first.
Oh, hello.
So let's go straight to the Pope then, just so he doesn't storm the stage.
Bless you for coming.
Thank you, Father.
My flock appreciate it very much. Apart from myself, who would you like the most to visit your kitchen?
Who would I like the most to visit my kitchen? Oh my God, I mean, it depends what's going on in the kitchen, really, doesn't it? I would say it depends, you know, are we having a glass of wine? Are we eating dinner? Because, I mean, if we're eating dinner, I'd say, you know, maybe like Michel Roux Jr. so he could cook for me. That would be pretty sick. But, I mean, if we're just having a chat, then Beyonce. If she's watching.
I'm sensing an appearance in her new video on your future.
Thank you.
And next up, we have a question from a very honourable guest here. He's the president of the Warwick Doctor Who Society, so I'm expecting an earth-shatteringly good question here.
Well, Mr. President, thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your time with us today. And I feel very honoured.
He will not be saying anything about fake news during the course of this question.
I hope not.
Oh, God. What have you done? Oh, God, what have I done? Thanks for coming, pal.
Well, thank you for coming, Mr. President.
I've got my whole team here, my publicist, and, you know, they're all here.
Oh, nice. Hi. Hi, guys. Welcome. Thank you.
My money man is right here. So, before I get on to the question, just want to say thank you for being awesome and being, like, my hands-down favourite companion after watching a hell of a lot of Doctor Who.
That's very kind.
Done a lot of stuff.
Thank you.
So
Cheers.
thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You're pretty amazing. But my question is, if they sort out the licenses and all of that jazz, would you do Big Finish?
Would I do Big Finish? I don't know. What do you think? Yeah. Do you think I should? Well, then maybe. I mean, why not? I mean, I don't have anything against it. So, you know, if they'd have me, then sure. Thank you, Mr. President.
And a question from a lady at the front.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Good. Good. I'm very well.
Okay, so it's kind of in 2 parts. The first bit of the question is, was the role of Bill what you expected it to be, or did you expect it to be a bit more light-hearted?
What was that? Was the role of Bill what I expected it to be?
Or were you expecting it to be more light-hearted? I guess the second part kind of qualifies it.
Was I expecting it to be more? I'm sorry, I can't quite hear you.
Light-hearted.
Light-hearted. I don't know. That's a good question, actually. I think, I mean, you know, I like a bit of drama. I said that earlier, and I think it's really nice to be able to play some, you know, some high-stakes situations. But I think we got to put a bit of lightheartedness in there as well, and I think you know, the mixture between the two, again, like I was saying about Stephen's writing, is what creates a really rounded character. And for an actress, you know, so for myself, that was what was such a joy to play. You know, you get to have the funny moments, you get to have the silly questions, you know, you get to be challenging and upbeat and fun, but then you also get stuff that's really heartbreaking, or, you know, where you're about to die, or that kind of thing, which is, it's great fun to play, you know, and I think also adds to the lightheartedness, also adds to the poignance of the dramatic moments, so. Yeah,
the other part of the question was that in light of the fact that it wasn't as light-hearted as perhaps other companions have been, Series 10 was a really quite dark and difficult, challenging series to be part of, and it was your only series.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you would have traded off something a little less intense and dark and challenging for a more lengthy tenure as the companion.
Nope. Definitely not. That was, if anyone didn't hear, would I have traded off something less intense and dramatic for a longer tenure? And no, I think hit them hard and then get out. I like I said, I really like doing dramatic stuff, and I enjoy that. I'd much rather have an epic one series than a happier 2 series, for example. Thank you.
We have a question here from this aptly dressed person.
So then.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So then, do you think Bill would get friendlier with the 13th Doctor than she would have done with the 12th Doctor, if you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, do you know, I'm not going to say no. You know, I mean, she's she's just very, very nice to look at. Is Jodie Whittaker. You know, I mean, who knows? Well, I'll have to leave that up to your imagination. What do you think? Yeah, oh, you think she would have? Well, I mean, you know, as I said, she is easy on the eye.
Just avoid the fan fiction section of certain websites, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let's go to this person here.
Hi, Pearl.
Hello.
I just wanted to ask, going back to what you said about the first guy you saw who cosplayed you.
Yes.
Was it, can you show her that? Was it this chap here?
Maybe. Drum roll.
Was that him?
Yeah, it was him.
His name's Dom.
Dom, I think I've met him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's come to filming before.
Yeah, he's here today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah. Well,
So-
yes. Well found. Thank
Lovely.
you.
Thanks, Pearl.
And well done, Dom.
And that's the member of the Dom fan club out of the way. Moving on to this person.
Hi, Pearl.
Hello.
First of all, I want to say you're my favourite Doctor Who companion of all time.
Thank you very much. That's very kind of you.
Yeah, someone was asking you about whether you'd be willing to do Big Finish.
Yeah.
Would there be any other Doctor Who companion you'd want to do those adventures with?
Could you say that again, please?
Yeah, sure. Basically, if you were to do Big Finish,
Yes.
is there any other Doctor Who companion you would like to do those adventures with?
Any other Doctor Who companion I'd like to do those adventures with?
Yeah, such as like River Song
Matt,
or Captain Jack.
with Nardole. Yeah. I mean, if we're doing it, we could do get the team back together. Get the band, exactly. Get a bit more Nardy.
I'm sensing a Doctor Who T-shirt that says, "Let's get Nardy."
Let's get a Nardy in here.
So, we got a question here.
Hi, Pearl.
Hello.
Please report to Hall 10 organisers office.
Katrina Nolan.
Connor Jones here waiting for you.
Connor Jones. Either of you in here? Are you sure? Are you hiding? Sorry, carry on.
Do you find TV acting or theatre acting easier?
Easier? I don't think there's nothing easy about either of them, I would say. I'm still finding them both very challenging. I think there are different elements of being on TV and being on stage that are more challenging. For example, on stage you have to remember all of your lines for the whole thing. and there's no room for error. Whereas on TV, you can sort of, you can go, what's my line? And you can go back and do it again. But then on TV, you have to maintain the intensity, and you have to maybe do it 25, 30 times. A scene where the scene where Bill's getting attacked by the zombies and, or asphyxiating or that kind of thing. I had to do that, 28 or 30 times in one morning. And obviously with theatre, you don't have that, and you get to sort of build up the intensity throughout the play, and then you perform it that once for the night, and then you sort of carry on your journey. But I don't think either of them are very easy.
And we have a question in over here.
You.
Off to you.
Hello.
What's your favourite cringy joke?
What's my favourite what?
Cringy joke. Cringy joke.
Cringy joke. Oh, I love all cringy jokes. I'm like proper dad joke humour. That is, I'm not good at telling them, but if you tell me one, I'll probably laugh. Like, I love all the really, really bait ones. Just all just any kind of little silly play on words. I'm like, ha, 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 that's good. That's entirely my humour. So think of your best ones and come up to me with them later.
Okay, we have a question from a friend next to her.
I want to say just how much Bill means to me as a character before I ask my question. Thank you so much for portraying her.
Thank you very much.
My question
I can't see you.
I'm here.
Hello. Hi. Thank you.
And my question is that Peter Capaldi's amazing, but if there was any previous Doctor, if you could do an episode with one of them, which one would you pick?
Was that any previous Doctor that I would have, if I could have worked with another Doctor?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, all of them I think are amazing. Maybe Matt Smith, I think. I met Matt recently, and he's very fun and so energetic that I think his Doctor and Bill could have had quite a bouncy time together, to be honest. Not like that. You lot, calm down.
Those fan forums are getting itchy again.
Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there. Underneath the light. Sorry, I couldn't see you.
There are some actors, actresses that leave the programme because they don't want to be typecast. What are your thoughts on that? And would you return back to the programme if called?
I only caught the beginning bit of that.
There are some actresses and actors that leave the programme for the fear of being typecast. What are your thoughts on that?
There are some actors and actresses who leave a programme for the fear of being typecast, was that?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
I think that typecasting is definitely a thing that happens. I don't know. I feel like if I get typecast as Bill, then that's probably not too bad because she is quite similar to me. So, whilst I don't always want to play the same character, I feel like, I think with a show like Doctor Who as well, you get so much variety within all the episodes. You get to, one episode you're on a different planet, you're talking to emoji robots, and then the next you're in Victorian London wearing, full sort of Victorian get-up. So I think within that you get there's a lot of room for people to see, people who may typecast you to see you in different lights. And I think as we were saying earlier, with the sort of the light and the dark that you get with a series like Doctor Who, I think it's quite hard to be typecast on the back of that. Well, that's what I'm hoping anyway. Thank you. That was a good question.
And we're right in the middle.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
I was wondering, did you watch Class, and are you upset it didn't get a second series?
I did watch Class, and yes, I was upset they didn't get a second series. Those guys they were great. We used to hang out quite a lot on back in Cardiff, whilst the little crossover time that we had. But yeah, I think they're all great actors, so I think they will definitely go on to wonderful things.
I have a question here.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Hello again. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good.
I can't wait for Christmas, as sad it will be. Absolutely heartbreaking even thinking about it. Do you ever think about going into film or movies, and what genre would you do?
Yeah. If they'll have me, then why not? Yeah, I mean, I think there's some great stuff being made out there at the moment, but there's also some great TV being made. I think, you know, one of the things about this, you know, our time at the moment is like incredible stuff is being made for TV, and a lot of, you know, big Hollywood actors are coming and doing TV stuff. So, you know, if I could continue to do, you know, a bit of TV and then maybe do some films, I'm just about to do another play. You know, if I'm lucky enough to continue to sort of work across all mediums for the rest of my career, then I will be very happy. Thank you.
And I'm off to your left here.
Hello.
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 What was your favourite episode of season 10?
What was my favourite episode of season 10? I don't know. I always feel very pressured by the word favourite. Because I've got, you know, I mean, the favourite ones to film. One of my favourite ones to film was probably episode 8 because my costume was really comfy. You know, I mean, wearing a boiler suit and a jumper, sort of running around in boots, that was pretty cool. I like that. I did also, episode 8 I thought was quite epic, and you know, all the narration from Bill was quite an interesting thing. But then I also like the finale. I like both of those. You know, the scenes with Bill and Razor in the hospital, I think, is so heartbreaking once you realise that he's, you know, he's basically he's the master and he's trying to turn her into a Cyberman. But I also loved episode 1 and all of them. Sorry, I can't do favourites. I feel like I've forgotten all of them when I do favourites, and then they were all my favourite. Sorry, that's really, really indecisive of me. What was your favourite?
Personally, my favourite was the finale of the Monks episode.
Oh, episode 8, The Lie of the Land?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That was my favourite too.
I thought the story was really good, and
thank you.
I really enjoyed how things weren't quite as they seemed throughout the whole kind of story of it.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad we have the same favourite episode.
And a question just here in front.
Hi.
Hello. That's all right, don't worry. What's your name?
Kyle. What was your evil question after that? But what was your favourite villain in general, if you want, or?
What was my favourite? Sorry, there is someone's very excited over there. I don't know what they're excited about, but I'm quite keen to find out. I'm so sorry. I didn't hear what your question was.
I know it's an evil question after that, but what was your favourite villain of the series?
My favourite villain?
Yeah.
Of the series? Oh, that's a good one. Well, it wasn't the Cybermen. I didn't like them. They weren't very nice to me. What was my favourite villain? Probably the monks, actually. They were creepy, man. They were, with the long fingers and that, oh no, the face of dead, rotting flesh. They scared me. Thank you.
We have a question from an aptly dressed person.
Hi. Hello. Other than Doctor Who, what's your favourite TV series?
Other than Doctor Who, what's my favourite TV series?
Yeah.
Or ever in the world?
Well, not ever. Like, maybe recent?
Like now?
Yeah.
What's my favourite TV? Well, I just finished watching Stranger Things 2. Do you guys like that? I quite like that. I thought it was pretty cool. There's a lot more kissing than I was expecting. The end of the sorry if no one's seen it. Whoops, totally ruined that, haven't I? Loads of spoilers. What else do I like? I'm a big fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, to be honest. That's probably one of my favourite series ever. So, yeah, thanks. Glad you guys like it too. Yeah.
And we're off to the left in the middle.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Again, thank you so much for being an amazing companion.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you liked it.
I loved it.
Oh, good.
My friend here wants to know, if you could reinterpret the Doctor, how would you do it?
What, as in, if I was to play the Doctor?
Yep.
How would I do it?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully very well. I don't know. That's a challenging question. I think the Doctor's such an interesting character. He's so enigmatic, and I think there's so many facets of his character that you could pick up on, and Yeah, I think it would depend on the storylines that I was given, and yeah, I really don't know. I think it would. I'd have to give it a lot of thought. I think if I was ever asked to play the Doctor, which would be quite surreal. But yeah, I think there's so much of his character. He can be quite moody, he can be quite diffident, but he can also be very compassionate. And I think the sort of the dichotomy of that is what makes him such an interesting the Doctor, such an interesting character. So hopefully I'd be able to weave all of those things through my portrayal.
And we're right down near the back now.
Hello.
On that side. And a person here.
Would you ever like to be part of any other franchise than just Doctor Who, like the Marvel Universe?
Could you speak up a little bit, please?
Would you like to be part of any other franchise than just Doctor Who, like the Marvel Universe?
Oh, would I like to be part of any other franchise apart from Doctor Who, like Marvel Universe or something like that?
Spot on.
I mean, why not? I think they're great. I mean, I think Star Wars is pretty sick. So, yeah. And also the new Star Trek is pretty great. Yeah, I mean, I think it would depend on the character that I played. I'd love to do something in another franchise. I think that would be incredible, but it would have to be the right character to be able to sit well within that franchise to make something good of it,
And we've got time for a couple more questions, so we're going to start with this young lady here.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello, where are you? Hello.
Do you have any tips for stage fright?
Do I ever get stage fright?
Do you have any tips?
Do I have any tips for stage fright? I would say stage fright's a difficult thing. I would say make sure we always do like a warm-up before we go on stage. So we do a lot of like deep breathing and make sure your body's all like flexible, sort of stretch yourself out and that kind of thing, and warm up your voice, which is always good because a lot of the time when stage fright happens with singing or with speaking, it can be because your voice is sort of constricted, because that fear can kind of do that. It sort of constricts your voice a little bit. But if your voice is warmed up and that muscle is sort of relaxed, then it's easier to kind of overcome it. So I would say, I'd say make sure you're really warmed up and make sure you're really well rehearsed before you go on stage with anything that you've got to say. Apart from now, which I'm clearly just winging it. But yeah, I think try and do that. And also, one thing to remember when you're on stage is that everyone else wants you to do as well as you want to do. Do you know what I mean? So, like, no one wants to see you mess up. They want to see you do the best version of your performance for the play or for the song or whatever it is. So, if you think of it like that, like you're all in it together, so it's not you against them, even though they're all watching you. You're all part of the same team. So, hopefully that will help. I don't know.
And we have one final question from this young lady here.
Why did you decide to audition for Bill?
Why did I decide to audition for Bill? Well, first of all, when I got the audition through, I didn't know that it was to play Bill in Doctor Who. I was because the way they advertise it, because obviously if they advertise that they're looking for a new companion in Doctor Who, then every agent in all of Sundry is going to send every single female or male or whoever actor they have up for it. So they advertise it as something called Meantown, which is an anagram of Woman 10, which is the woman in 10th series. And yeah, I mean, when I heard that it was to play Bill in Doctor Who, I was like, ha, that's great. I'm never going to get that, am I? Brilliant. That'll just be a nice little day out for me. I'll get to meet Andy Pryor, who's the casting director, and say hello. And just thought, it'll be a nice way of kind of, showing him that I might be good for potentially other things. But, there's no way in a million years I ever thought I'd be sitting here talking about it, having filmed it. So, yeah, I mean, basically I auditioned for it because I was like, imagine getting that. That would be incredible. Thank you.
And I understand you mentioned there your next project is going to be in the stage.
Sorry?
You mentioned that your next
project...
Come back.
Come back. Hello.
Hello again.
Hi.
Now,
Missed you?
I missed you too. You mentioned your next project is going to be on the stage and you'll be returned to the stage.
I am.
Where can we come and see you and what will you be doing?
It is, well, I'm doing a play called The Birthday Party, which is by Harold Pinter, who, if you haven't heard of him, is one of the best playwrights we have produced in this country, so check him out. He also has a theatre named after him, which used to be the Comedy Theatre in Leicester Square, and it's now called the Harold Pinter Theatre. He's that good. So, yeah, I'm absolutely terrified to do one of his plays because he's very good and very specific. And, yeah, and it's also got lots of people who are very famous in the cast. So, and they've had much more experience in acting than me. So come and see them. And then if you like what I'm doing, then you can come and say hi afterwards or something like that. But we start rehearsals for that next week.
Wow.
Yeah, so very excited. And we open in January, and we're on till the middle of April.
And so the tickets will be on sale soon, I'd imagine.
Tickets are on sale now.
So don't
They
forget
are on sale right now. I think it's, if you go to the Birthday Party London, I think you should find it if you type that into Google. If you fancy it. You don't have to come, no pressure.
And if not, you'll turn up at some person's birthday party in London, who knows?
Well, exactly, yes. I mean, which is probably also a bonus, you know, it's going to be a celebration.
Exactly, and free cake.
Probably less sort of weird and macabre and, you know, antagonising than The Birthday Party by Harold Pinter is. It's quite a weird play, it's quite dark, and there's a lot of sort of sense of impending doom. Which, I don't know if you guys like that, because there's not much of that in Doctor Who, really, is there?
Not much.
Nah, not much impending doom. Just definite doom.
Or Cybermen.
Or Cybermen, yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a huge thank you and an applause to the brilliant Pearl Mackie.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
And Pearl will be doing
Been
signings
lovely.
and photographs with